Are you listening?
Another episode of Trash Talk. I'm Damian Hill. With me tonight is my former boxing manager and coach, John Hoffman. Tonight we're getting ready to talk about the fights that's going down January 17th, this Friday at Grand Casino Hinckley. This episode of Trash Talk is brought to you exclusively by Grand Casino Hinckley. They've given me first-class treatment. They're going to have me up at these fights. They're going to treat me very nice from what I hear, and John Hoffman is here to help go over the fight card. There's 10 fights on the card. We're going to go over a select few fights from the card. And thank you again, Corey Rapiz. You're the man. And John, how are you doing tonight?
I'm good, thank you. And they always do a real good job at Hinckley. And I don't follow boxing quite like I used to, with a microscope. But I always go to the fights up there. They always take good care of me, too. So
yeah, no, I love fighting for them. I love fighting up there. It was always a show. And every time I'm up there, it's a show. And that's kind of what we're expecting from the fights that are going on the 17th. What's one of the fights that excites you the most?
Well, I got I got one dog in the race. No matter what, I'm not going to work the corner. He talked me into it last time. So this is me as a paid fan, and I'm going to watch him, and I'll be keeping my eye closely on that one, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And then the Phil Williams-Al Sands fight, that's going to be extraordinarily fun, too.
Yeah, before we get into that one a little bit more, I know that there was one or two fights on the card that have fallen through due to injuries and things like that. And you've been having this sling on since I've been here all day. I'm kind of curious, what happened with your shoulder?
No, it's the elbow. I had a procedure done last week. It's a new procedure. It's 10-jet. They go through your elbow, and it's able to detect the live cells from the dead cells, break up the dead cells, and what they used to have to cut you open for just a couple years ago is something they're able to do orthoscopically, and I'm excited about being able to use my left elbow because this game you use your left elbow quite a bit, and I beat it up throughout the years, so finally gonna get it fixed.
I'm glad you didn't hurt it. Hurting somebody else.
No, no more.
But I kind of feel like a jackass because I've been here all day with you, and this is the first time I actually asked you about your shoulder, and it's your elbow. So
and we've known each other how many years? No, but I mean, let's put it this way: how many different devices on me or bandages have we had? Or it's just another injury to add to the list. So.
Yeah,
it brings me back to the old days.
Yeah. Oh, man. Okay, so getting back to the fight card, the fight versus Phil Williams and Al Sands, that's an exciting matchup. It feels like I grew up fighting on their prelims, and it's just...
Yeah, here, it's a rematch. Remember, Phil walked through him the first time. I don't know, if Al just got caught cold that night. What happened? I was there, and I really, before talking to you, probably should have looked and watched it again before.
Yeah, I needed an update on that.
My memory is not what it used to be, but nonetheless, I just remember Al not getting established at all in the fight. So Phil jumped on him, and with Phil's power, and if he lands on it, it can be quick.
Yeah. I know that he's made a lot of changes to his game after that loss, and we've seen him get up to a world title. We've seen him trying to climb back now. What do you think? What are the changes that you think that he's made in his game?
We're referring to Al?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not in the gym anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's I get to watch as a fan and not have them insights anymore and just see what happens.
Okay. Well, let me rephrase the question.
Sure.
Then. How do you feel the fight is going to turn out? Do you expect it to go the same way, or do you expect a completely different fight?
I hope for the fans' sake it's a completely different fight. I'd like to see a fighter win and earn it a little bit. But get some round. Either way, I'm just a fan, so I'm gonna enjoy it.
And Phil, he got to finish the first time that they fought, and I'm not sure if he actually has the power advantage, but I would believe so. But I'm not sure how they match up with reach. I know Al's a taller guy.
A lot longer, and there is a big power difference in the fight. Al boxes, so he doesn't commit to the big punch like Phil does.
Yeah.
Phil will commit to 80% of his punches when
Yeah.
he's coming in. So.
Yeah.
And that's why it can end in a hurry. But at the same time, if Al can get that length and stretch out the fight and get it throughout some rounds and start boxing, and it could be a different fight.
And that's what makes the matchup so amazing. That, like, when you're putting a card together like this, or when you're putting together a matchup like this, you have to take all of those things into consideration, and that's the selling point of the fight. So, again, shout out to Corey Rapiz for getting this fight together, the rematch. And, man, I'm just excited for how it turns out, because I'm excited to see the changes that both guys have made. Is Phil going to go out there and be able to still get let me start over. If Al goes out there and tries to outbox Phil, is Phil going to be able to weather the storm and possibly get a knockout or a finish in the later rounds? Or is he going to go out there ready to box himself and change things up because he knows Al is ready for the same style that he came at him with the last time? And
yeah, absolutely. I've cornered Phil a few times. I've cornered him against. I was his headquarter once, and then I helped Jock. So I worked both his fights against Caleb. I worked probably a handful of others, but. The one thing about Phil is he's got a lot of different things he can do. And to be honest, I don't know if he knows, or if he does, he doesn't let us know what style is going to develop that fight or what he's even going into. Phil's a bright guy, and he knows what's going on, and we just support him, and we know he knows what he's doing when we're in his corner. We just make sure he's got what he needs, and I'm sure he's got a plan.
Oh yeah. Well, this is another matchup. One of the best fights is probably going to go down all year on a really stacked card. A lot of other great fights on the card as well. Make sure to be there. Grand Casino Hinckley, January 17th. It's a Friday night. Be there for the fights. It's going to be the shit, you guys. Come on.
Yeah, I think that Rondell Hubbard fight might end up being the fight of the night. The kid he's fighting is a 6-1 fighter that's on a 4 or 5 fight win streak. He lost to a 6-1 guy, he beat a 6-1 guy before he lost. So he's a younger guy, so he's on his way up. And Hub isn't ready to give up on any fight. He takes it one at a time, and it's always a fight. And he don't care if he's the journeyman or on his way up. He's gonna give him hell. So we're gonna find out who this kid is that's up, but. Usually, Hub's got a real fight, and again, this Friday, he's earning his money.
Oh yeah, and he's never been anybody's stepping stone, and I can't wait for this fight. And oh man, this is gonna be a great night. I really can't wait. Grand Casino Hinckley, January 17th. Be there or be a hoe.
Oh shit.